TDS just added a new level tower that is the Mercenary base. It is an all-game spawner tower that can spawn 4 different units, each with their niche. It has an ability where you have to spend your money to send 3 units to a specific location. This tower can be obtained once you are level 150. It's also the second tower to have 6 levels, with the other being Engineer. Is this tower worthy of being a level 150 tower? Let's look at its stats first. At level 0, Mercenary base gets 1 spawn queue that spawns a rifleman. It costs 1200 cash to be placed, and you need to place Mercenary base close to the path in order for its unit to spawn. Rifleman has 35 HP and spawns every 37.5 seconds. It deals a quick burst of 5 shots with a fire rate of 0.15 seconds and a cooldown of 1.75 seconds. Each shots deal 3 damage and has a range of 18. At level 1, Mercenary base gets 1 more spawn queue at the cost of 1k. This is basically similar to placing another level 0 Mercenary base but 200 cash cheaper. At level 2, Mercenary base unlocks the Grenadier unit that's good for crowds. Costs 2.2k cash to upgrade. Grenadier has 45 HP and spawns every 42.5 seconds. It shoots an explosive shell dealing 25 damage at a fire rate of 2 seconds and has a range of 17. Grenadier moves way slower than Rifleman. At level 3, Mercenary base now grants 10% damage buff to all towers in range, and upgrades both Grenadier and Rifleman to level 2. This costs 7k cash to upgrade. Level 2 Rifleman now has 70 HP and spawns every 32.5 seconds. It shoots 6 shots in a single burst with a cooldown of 1.5 seconds. Each shots deal 7 damage and has 23 range. It also has hidden detection, which I know players love it. Level 2 Grenadier will now have 120 HP and spawns every 37.5 seconds. It now deals 50 damage at a fire rate of 1.75 seconds. It also has 19 range. I should just tell their DPS at this point to make this shorter. At level 4, Mercenary base gets 1 more spawn queue and unlocks the Field Medic. That heals and protects your units from those annoying damn stomps or any attack that damages your units. And no, Medic doesn't support other medics because they see them as John Cena, and for some reason likes to go kamikaze instead of staying in the back lines like a good medic. This upgrade costs 10k, which is the worst upgrade for Mercenary base. You don't even need the Field Medic at the time of getting it. Anyways, here are Field Medic's stats. It has 135 HP and spawns every 37.5 seconds. It can support up to 3 units and heals 20 HP per second. It also has 25 range, and can overcharge a unit to generate a green shield. At level 5, Rioters will be unlocked, and so will the airdrop ability. The airdrop ability can send the same amount of units and the same unit you picked in the tower, anywhere in the path. It's gonna cost you 2.5k to use though. Additionally, Rioters is a grandpa, probably a World War II veteran. He looks old. Okay, hold on, it's actually a girl. Wait, what? How? Guess she's the first ever TDS tomboy unit. She's a unit that focuses on using her HP to deal collision damage to enemies and stunning them upon hit. This old woman is more suitable for kamikaze attacks than the Field Medic. This is the fastest unit in the Mercenary group and is more tanky than a literal tank. What is her armor made of? This upgrade costs 17.5k cash. Rioters have 1k HP and spawns every 60 seconds. It has 10% defense. Finally, it's not just the enemies having defense, and can stun an enemy for 3 seconds when he uses his shield to block them. Finally, at the max level, all units are now upgraded to their max level, and buff towers with 20% damage boost instead of 10%, costs 32.5k cash to upgrade. These are the new upgraded stats. Level 3 Rifleman has 195 HP, deals 30.43 DPS, and has a range of 30. Level 3 Grenadier will have 260 HP, spawns every 32.5 seconds, with a defense of 10%, and has 21 range. It deals 68 DPS of splash damage, more DPS than Rifleman for 9 less range. Level 2 Medic will now support 4 units and heals them by 8 HP per fire rate. It also has 175 HP now. Finally, level 2 Rioter's HP is increased to 2250 with 15% defense, and spawns every 50 seconds. It deals 30 damage and takes 1 second to start charging. That was so long. The best unit to be used at max level is Rioter because it has a ton of HP. More than a high-tech tank. It is recommended to send 2 Rioters and a field medic with the airdrop ability to deal quick damage of 9k. After realizing that medic's shield does save the unit from colliding with an enemy, which then also deals collision damage to that enemy without losing HP. After a few frames, it can die, dealing collision damage again on the same enemy or the next enemy, essentially doubling its collision damage, which makes Rioter deal 4.5k total collision damage. Grenadier or Rifleman are only good if you decide to stack them. If you want them to survive from the dreaded stomp, make sure to send in a lot of medics to protect them for a bit. Use airdrop ability with 3 field medics if you want to protect your units quickly. Grenadier is mostly better than Rifleman to stack because it deals more than double the DPS. As a crowd control tower unit, for some reason, due to its range, it may be harder to stack on different maps. An important note about the Mercenary base is that has a dynamic placement limit, that has a different placement limit depending on the match. Mercenary's early levels are pretty good, but level 4 is downright terrible for the price. Don't you dare spam level 4 Mercenary base, you level 4 farm spammer. Mercenary's early levels can easily defend early game, especially when the Rifleman units stack. Map layout can severely make a difference in how good Mercenary perform. Its damage buff can be incredibly helpful in increasing your tower's DPS, especially when paired with Commander. But with its short range, you want to make sure you can cover as many towers as you can with the buff, even if you have to sacrifice the offensive part of the tower. About the airdrop ability, there's a trick where you can deal a crap ton of DPS quickly, with the Rioter, or quickly stack more units. You can reset the ability by selling and placing it back again, but it will cost you a lot of cash. So only do this when you have everything maxed and have a ton of cash to spare. Mercenary base can easily solo Fallen, even if you only need to bring a single tower in a solo Fallen match. It handles early, mid-game, and late game so easily by stacking its units to shred the enemies. Field Medic was needed to keep most of the units alive after the first stomp from Fallen King, to quickly drop his HP down to 75k. Rioters rush on the path to damage Fallen King and his guardians. Microing Mercenary base helps me restart the ability and quickly send Rioters again, which got me the kill. In hardcore, Mercenary base can be useful for killing mega slow, triple shadow bosses, and extra DPS. Just make sure you can stack Riflemen for shadow bosses, but people would just mostly use Mercenary base for its 20% damage boost, and late game sub DPS if the limit isn't 1, and if you're crazy for it, Mercenary base can solo hardcore. You mostly see me use Mercenary base in solo, that's because it's very strong in solos. With a placement of 3 you can use Mercenary base not just for support and early game, but for late game sub DPS, depending on how you use it. This can be extremely strong. In team play, Mercenaries uses becomes more limited since you can only place 1 of them, which makes it stack units slower, less towers to get a damage buff cause of the range, and less options you can do with 1 Mercenary base. For example, you want to micro Mercenary base's ability, but at the same time you're also stacking Grenadiers. Well, too bad you can't micro it, or else all of your stacked units die. I know you can just get someone else to do it, but it just feels inefficient compared to duo or solo. Is this worthy as a level 150 tower? For me, yes, due to its gimmicks and the gameplay. It's disappointing that you can only get a placement of 1 on Trio Plus with this tower. Maybe it's because of the damage buff. I would want this tower to get some changes like small price adjustments on level 2 and 4, and make Rifleman deal more DPS than Grenadier, even if it means nerfing Grenadier. Cause it doesn't make sense that Grenadier has way more single target DPS as a crowd control tower. It gets more DPS regardless anyway since it can damage multiple enemies. That's all there is for today. This video was really long. There's a lot of bugs with Mercenary base. One of them is the damage buff status stays once sold, so abuse that when you still can. As always, if you like the video, dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. What are your thoughts about Mercenary base? Comment down below. Thanks for watching.